And this is another episode where I want to talk about advocacy, self advocacy, and self empowerment. As online students, I want you to know that you have power and you have power in several different layers. So, as a student, you are supposed to receive respect. Your questions need to be answered. Your grades need to be addressed at a certain time frame that's promised by the instructor. You're allowed to expand and grow, and that's a whole point of being an online student, is that you have the flexibility to learn in your version of learning. And even though there are everybody's giving the same assignments, this gives you the flexibility to have a unique experience. So I want you to self advocate. I want you to be able to question, not in a disrespectful manner, but definitely in a manner where you're inquisitive and there's inquiry and you have questions on that. Uh, Say, for example, there's an issue with the grade and you have questions on that. It's okay to question. It's okay to get that clarity because that's only something that you're obligated to have. You, as a student, you should get that clarity that you need. You want to make sure that you advocate for yourself. So it can start with what I suggest students do right off the bat. If they've got questions, go directly to the instructor, go to the course inbox and ask that question because that's documented when you do it. Less likely to be documented when you put it in the comments, more likely to be documented when you put it in the course inbox. If that doesn't work, text the instructor. If they have a text message, or call them. If that doesn't work, then you email the instructor. Now you're using the email that could be also looked at, documented, and make sure that there's a pattern and there is a paper trail of you asking those questions. The other thing you want to do is after you've done that, then you go back to the beginning. Second request. Okay. Once you get to 3 requests, then I would get out. Then I would get outside um, help. Either ask for a phone call or ask for a Zoom session with that instructor. When I see multiple questions and I'm going back and forth with a student, or I feel like the clarity's not there, I'm going to do a voice note or a video. That's just me. Okay. Just to get the clarity that the student needs. So I've had situations where I need to go, I see that there is not a clear understanding. So I will do a video so that they can see I'm a human being and that I have emotions and feelings. I'm not a robot. And they can see me talking and then they can understand a little bit better. I think when we see human beings, when we see each other, we are able to have a better understanding of what the thought process is between that person. That is the communication process. Okay. So it's easier to accomplish the communication process when you can see the person and you have the visual communication as well as a nonverbal communication. Those two together, working together, really helps you understand the intention of that person and ultimately what the goal is. And for me, as an instructor, I use myself as an example. I want you to feel safe. I want you to feel seen. And I want you to feel secure. Those are the 3 things I want you to have. Now, icing on the cake, if you're in my communication class or my psychology class, is the confidence you have in the skills that you learned. That is icing on the cake. Okay. Those are the 4 kind of things that I want to see when you leave. And I want to see you put those skills on your resume. That's the goal, and help and use those skills to help you upgrade, upskill yourself all the way to graduation and beyond. That's really like the 5 kind of tenets that I want to see when you are in one of my classes. And majority of your instructors have the same, with probably differences in wording and language, same goals that they want to achieve as well. But part of that is for you stepping out and self advocating for your grade, making sure that you are advocating for your experience, making sure that you're advocating for your thoughts and ideas. And, even if there is a disagreement, you can agree to disagree. And that has happened between myself and students. You can agree to disagree and still have a great time in that class. You can still achieve the goals. You can still get the outcome and can still get the grade, whether you agree with the instructor or not. That is the beauty of education. There will be disagreements. There will be areas where you don't necessarily agree with what the instructor gave you, but you learn something about yourself, you learn something about the material, and you learn something about how to promote yourself, advocate for yourself, and question it and inquire. Those are all great skills that you need to continue to use no matter what class you're in. Thank you so much for your time and attention. This has been a wonderful time. I hope this helps. Please make sure that you self advocate. You should have empowerment when you leave as a student for any college or university. Enjoy your day. Bye.